Well, Jim, our next question was sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by James Sutter. How were botches treated by promoters back in the day?
What now?
How were botches treated by promoters back in the day when there was a botch in the
Well, I mean,
territory
what, like
days?
somebody fucked up a hip toss or what, that kind of botch?
I guess you could have a couple different options. Either that or something that is booked to do something and the guys don't, I guess they botch it up. Any examples?
Well, you know, that's so wide ranging. There was always shit that didn't work in a match because especially in the days when it was, called on the fly at the time and you just tried to cover it up, but there weren't like I remember going to the matches as a fan and going weeks and weeks and weeks of the weekly cards with 5, 6, 7 matches on them and not seeing people try to do something that just totally collapsed, like trying to do two people something off the top rope and everybody just fell off of it, or just something that just completely fell to shit past one move falling apart or missing or whatever. And there's been all kinds of things go wrong in angles that you did on TV or fucking fights or whatever, but you cover them up and go on. In those days, there weren't, to answer his question, the promoters dealing with botches, unless you went out and completely fucked up the angle and missed a guy with a chair or something was obviously fake and was going to kill the town if you aired it on TV or whatever. The different promoters would yell at you for different levels of shit. But I never even heard Bill Watts say, "God damn it, you fucked up the elbow drop," or whatever. It might be, "Oh, Jesus Christ, you lost the gimmick and didn't fucking knock him out with the knucks," or something like that. But
did he say anything after the Wrestling 2 JYD thing? The knee lift?
Oh, well, yeah, that type of botch where it's something that looks phony and is going to hurt business or hurt the town or whatever, that, type of thing, promoters would always fucking be upset about. And depending on which one of them it was, they would yell in their own particular style. Jerry Jarrett wouldn't yell at you, he'd just starve you out and fucking make sure you didn't have enough money to fucking live there, so you had to go find another job. Whereas Watts would have grabbed your bag and thrown it out in the parking lot directly. But there was not these intricate shop class projects full of tables and chairs, structures being built, or elaborate 4 and 5 man fucking moves being pulled off at the same time and dives off the balcony. So it wasn't so obvious when somebody just completely fucked up what they were trying to do.
Hey, I know I don't have the video footage in front of you, but there's a match that people have been sending around this last few days, and several wanted to know your thoughts on it. Maybe
yes.
Ron Simmons and Eddie Gilbert tag team match in the studio at TBS?
Yes, against Big Bear Collie, and I can't remember who his partner was. But and part of it is because I haven't seen the whole match. That was 1989 or whatever. I haven't seen the whole match in a long time, but I think Ron Simmons had done something to poor old Big Bear Collie that rang his bell. And then they kept trying to continue, but at one point, Ron shoots him off and he fucking hits the ropes, but goes under the top rope, almost falls through. And then Eddie tries to hot shot him, but he trips on the drop down over Ron Simmons and just falls on top of Eddie. And fucking, then they try to do something. Finally, they threw him out on the floor and Eddie was going to give him like a suplex on the floor and he couldn't go up for that. So it turned into like a super DDT. And again, the job guys that came to Atlanta TV in those days were not all the highest quality, most, extensively trained workers. A lot of them were the guys Mike Jackson smartened up how to write a check and he'd get them booked and take 25% of their money or whatever. But, that's why we had funnier matches when that wasn't really the Midnight Express being weave, when that wasn't really the thing to do, because you couldn't have serious matches with these guys, so you had to be heelish and make fun of them and demean them. But when things, and we never hurt anybody either. But when the guys tried to do too much stuff with them, and the guys that they were doing it with couldn't take it, couldn't go upright, didn't know how to take the bump, whatever, they'd fucking hurt them or land on their head, or it would all just turn to shit. And that turned to shit there. That's what that clip is from. But in fairness to Big Bear, I think Ron had already knocked him goofy before that clip started.